Hey, Closeteers. Hey, how you guys doing? It's good to talk with you. Good to talk with you. So today, I am going to share the blessing of my grandson. Right? All of my grandchildren were blessings, but this particular grandson was a different kind of blessing, right? He was a special kind of blessing. And it's amazing because he did not like me. When he was first born, he did not want me to touch him. I felt horrible. If I would pick him up, and I'm talking a little bitty baby, not like the babies where they see you and they know you, and it's like, he was a very small baby, like maybe a month old, maybe 2 months old. He was really, really young. And so when I would pick him up, he would cry. When I would touch him, he would cry. It was like, well, what happened? What did I do, right? And so when he got to like 6 months old, it now is when his like personality is really forming. So when I would like reach out for him and stuff like that, he like back up, like no, like this kid did not like me for whatever reason. He did not like me. And so maybe like at 8 months, 9 months, something like that, real not too far off from his first birthday, but it was some months. They ended up coming to stay, right? And I basically forced myself on this child. I said, you are going to like me. No, you are going to love me. So I started like making him spend time with me, not to the point like if he was like really agitated, if he was really agitated or really upset, I would, leave him alone. But if he gave if he gave just that much, that let me know, okay, he's not going to scream his lungs out or get into that cry where it's kind of like, I said, okay, then now this is when I'm gonna get him, when he does things like that. And so not too long after that is when it had become clear to me that my daughter was the product of rape. I didn't know that, right? I had no clue. And it wasn't too long before that we found out who I thought was her father was not her father. And then not too long after him being born, that it became evident that she was the product of rape. So I got depressed, and I got to the point where I was uncomfortable being touched. I was really uncomfortable being touched. I didn't want to be touched. And then plus with what was going on between my husband at the time and he wasn't trying to touch me anyway. We wasn't no touching going on anyway. But I had even noticed it with my children. Remember, I also had a young son at this time who liked hugs and kisses, and I had gotten to the point where I didn't like that, right? I don't know like what I was living through, what I was going through at the time, because at this particular time I did not have a therapist. So I can't name what it was, but it was bothersome. But on the same hand, I'm still fighting to build this. At the same time, I'm fighting to build this relationship with my grandson. And this requires touch, hugs, kisses. It requires stuff like that. So it's like, and the day he gave in, and it just became where he looked for me. It probably took like 2 months. 2 months of really just getting on his nerves. It took probably like 2 months. I know I had gotten on that kid's nerves. So by the day that he started to look for me, right? It was no longer me going to find him and making him come to me. It had got to where he was looking for me. He wanted to sleep in the bed with me. He wanted to sit in my lap. You know, it had gotten there. And honestly, that broke that spell of not wanting to be touched. It broke it. And so me and this kid to this day, that's my ace. He is my ace. I love all my grandchildren. I do. I love them all. But me and that little boy, we got a little special thing. We have a little special thing going. I call him JoJo. That's his nickname for me. And I think I'm probably the only person that call him that too. But that he's my JoJo. And he really is my joy. He really is. That's my JoJo. He broke that spell, and he made me okay with being touched, hugged, kissed, just and having someone all in my personal space. Like, he made it okay again. That kid made it okay again. This kid that did not like me, he did not want to be bothered with his nana. No, don't touch me. No, don't kiss me. He didn't even want me to talk to him. It was horrible. But this is who God used. This is the blessing for that season in my life. God used him to break down that wall that had gone up as a result of finding, or not even finding out, but as a result of remembering, right? Something traumatic that happened. I gotta stop saying that had happened. That happened. And so he was my miracle for that moment. He was what I needed, and God knew that. And he sent this kid at this time in my life where it was like, I'm not gonna make it. How is my son going to turn out if I don't give him love, if I don't let him hug me, if I don't let him kiss me, if I don't let him, if I don't build an emotional characteristic, if you will, in my son, how is that going to affect him? Like, what kind of person will he turn out to be? And then God did it so quick. It was quick because it was like, I'm serious. No, it couldn't have been no more than 90 days. That as quick as it happened, just about is as quick. Matter of fact, it was resolved quicker. That's just how God works. He broke whatever in my grandson to not reject me. It started out as a joke, it started out as a joke. It's just a task of, oh no, you're not gonna be my grandson and not love up on me and not, it was just a task, like a joking task. What started out as that turned out to be life-saving. Physical touch is very important. It's important to any human being. Physical touch is important. It's reassuring, right? So the fact that I was going to a place where I didn't want to be touched physically, period, not sexually, but period. I was in a place where I just, don't touch me. don't touch me. Don't hug me. Don't hold my hand. Don't kiss me. That's, I was going to a dangerous place. I was entering a really dangerous zone. And for the ability, to touch and be touched and enjoy it and be accepting of it, to come from a kid who's not even 1 year old, for him to be able to restore that, it was a beautiful thing, and it was a miracle from God, right? It was what I needed right when I needed it. What I needed right when I needed it. And this little boy has been, my JoJo has been so instrumental in helping me be comfortable with being me too, as well, right? This is at a time when I was morbidly obese and had some issues with my body and the way my body looked. And he would do the funniest little things. He'd come along and he'd like squeeze my stomach and say squishy and love it, like hug it and love it. And it was, that took away all the pain and the shame of having this fat belly that was like very ugly to me and something that I just wanted to instantly do away with. But he just made it this thing, and he would do it every time that he came to hug me, like, oh, squishy, and hug me. And there was no malice to it. There was there was nothing bad in it. It was just the pure honesty of a kid with love, though, right? With love. He would, this is that kid. These are the things that kid did, right? He just does, because even still to this day, he is inspirational to me. He is extremely sweet, extremely loving, extremely kind, right? And I appreciate what God did. I appreciate it because I know that it was ordained by God, just even for him to come into my life at that time. He is, in fact, my third grandchild. He's the third grandchild. And it was just perfect timing, right? Oh, I'm sorry. He's the fourth grandchild. Sorry. He's my fourth grandchild. My first grandchild, that's my love, because he's number one. It's a boy too. First of all, I have 8 grandsons and 2 granddaughters. Only 2 girls, 2 granddaughters. And here's the loving part about those 2 beauties. Those are my beauties, and they both shishi. Honey, they girly. They carry purses and all that. But here's the interesting thing about these 2 girls, these 2 young women, 2 young ladies, because they still my babies, even though they are in double digits. They were born 5 days apart. Same exact year, 5 days apart, right? And when we got the news of both pregnancies, it was funny because it was who's gonna have a girl, right? Because I already had a grandson, right? So now it's like, who's gonna have the first granddaughter? And we got that news, and then we got the news that they both were girls. We got the news that they both, well, before we got the news that they both were girls, we got the news that they both were going to be born close to my birthday, right? We got that news that they would be born close to my birthday. And so then that was just even more excitable for me. I don't know about for anybody else, but it was more excitable for me because with my daughter that I birthed, she's not girly, right? She is everything is natural for her. She wears her hair natural. She does not do fingernails and going to the beauty salon and stuff like that. She doesn't do that. That's not her thing. She keep herself looking good though. She keep her hair done and her, natural. She does that, but She don't like going shopping, and she's just not girly like that. So it was like, for real, like, she for prom, there was no grandeur, no thunder, none of that for her. None of that. She went to prom with a group. Like, she played volleyball, so the team went to prom together. I was like, no, like, right? She got married in another state at the court building. So I didn't get to plan a wedding or anything else. I was just like, this is gonna drive me crazy, right? But she did give the first grandchild, which is the grandson. And when he was born, she's military. So when he was born in the military hospital on the military base, right? They could not believe it. They could not. When I tell you, we piled into that hospital, everybody, because nobody lived in the same state she lived in, but we all piled into that hospital awaiting this grandchild to be born. This is everything. This is everything. And all the hospital staff was like, oh my God, we've never seen anything like this. You guys are serious. Yes, we are serious. So I did get that, but I didn't get to plan a wedding. I didn't get prom, stuff like that. And for her senior pictures, I had to fight with this girl to get her hair done and get a little makeup on and to do the glamour shot. I had to fight with her, and it's absolutely beautiful. It is a beautiful picture, but when she asked for her pictures, she asked for the pictures with her in her uniform, her volleyball uniform. I'm like, really? So she's like super not girly. So these two babies, beautiful granddaughters of mine, are coming into this world close to my birthday, right? And I know I didn't get off. I know I'm talking about JoJo, but this is a beautiful story too. So my birthday comes. They both ready to pop. They're both ready to pop. My birthday comes. One is in Florida and one is in Texas, and I was in California at the time. And it's like, I want to be there for both of these births, but considering it's unpredictable and you can't plan it, how am I going to do this, right? So my birthday comes, and I decide, I have a cousin whose birthday is the day before mine. And he's like, oh, I'm going to give this party. It's going to be a dinner and, with dancing and yada, yada, yada. I want you to come, right? I'm like, okay. I'm on baby watch, but okay, I'm going to come. So I go get all dolled up, pay to have my hair and stuff done. Get to the location, and I was probably there 20 minutes. Can I get a phone call? And it's my daughter, and she is in labor. So I spent my birthday in the bathroom of the hall talking her through labor. And so my first granddaughter. So my daughter, in essence, gave me my first grandson and my first granddaughter. She was born the next morning, mid-morning, on the day after my birthday, right? So, not 5 days later, here comes the next one. So I got my two granddaughters right behind one another, 5 days apart, and they are both very girly, very girly. So I'm like, Lord, thank you. He gave me double for my trouble. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that. Kids and grandkids are a joy, period. All of my grandchildren are a joy. All of my children are a joy. I just felt the need to share that special story about JoJo with you because it was God's timing, right? it was God's timing. Whether it had been JoJo, whether it had been one of my granddaughters or one of my other grandsons, it's the timing that made it perfect. And the fact that he first rejected me, and in a conquest, if you will, I decided I wasn't going to give in until he loved me. And then in my seeking to make him love me, he made me lovable, right? Because how lovable are you if you don't want to be touched, if you don't want human touch, right? How lovable are you? So he made me lovable again. And I love that. I love that story. I love what God did. And I love our special relationship. I believe that it will be a special relationship forever. Forever. And he has no clue what he did for me. He has absolutely no clue. He just loves his Nana, and he knows that he loves his Nana. And I don't think that I would ever share that with him, but I will share with him how he rejected me. I'll share that with him. May even share it with his children one day. So yeah, that's my story on that. How God gave me a special miracle grandbaby who turned my quest of getting him to love me into me being lovable once again. Thought I'd share that with you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I love you guys. And until we talk again, have a great day. Bye.